let's talk about the scientific method. Now, I say this a lot in my treatments, and really what we're talking about is changing one variable. So that might be one treatment, that might be one new exercise, that might be going back to one additional activity outside of the PT like closed setting, and seeing what the relative effect of that is. Now, this is why I like the training world as well, because we can kind of micromanage some of these little things. But if somebody were to say like, oh yeah, my neck is feeling really, really good, and then the next day they go out and they go surf, they go to a workout, they go on a mountain bike ride, they do all these other things, and then they come in, they're like, man, I was really sore. It's like, well, what'd you do? And so they did a whole myriad of things. They fell off their mountain bike, they did, did a CrossFit workout and lifted a bunch overhead, or maybe they went surfing and got thrown over the falls a couple times. Like, I don't know, man, there's so many things that could have happened in that experience that I can't control for, so I have no idea why it's sore today. Maybe you're just tired. I honestly don't know. So if we're really gonna build people back up successfully and back to the activities that they wanna do, we have to take a really prudent approach. So again, we're gonna take that scientific method. Let's add one thing, and let's make it almost something that, like, if I think that this is where you can kind of tolerate, I might prescribe you to do this. And the reason is, if I prescribe you to do this, and then you come back and say that you're all flared up, now we just have to work backwards for a while, and you're probably gonna be disappointed, which also sucks. So we don't want that. But if I give you this, and you did really well with it, then you're more confident, it was successful, we can high five about it, it's encouraging, and you know that whatever that volume was, whatever that task was, you can do more. And so what we want to do is we want to find that line by kind of going slightly up to, and once in a while we're going to have to go over it. But if we're only changing one variable at a time, we can be somewhat scientific about it and say, well, it was because I did this much relative volume, or I ran for this many miles, and like 3 miles is my max right now. Great, we have a line. We'll come back and we'll test that line in a few weeks. There's something objective that we can come back to and test, and that is really the root of how we are going to progress people back successfully to all the things that they want to do. Change one thing, and then next time change something else, and like kind of keep building and working on one thing at a time. That micro focus can be super successful. And again, a lot of rehab and a lot of training it's not about like the single event. One day in the gym is not going to make you substantially 1,000% better. That's just not how this stuff works. It is all about the incremental progress and the marginal gains. That 1% better that over time leads to massive changes. So let's put our attention into changing one thing at a time, managing all the other things, and get you back to doing all the things you want to do.